This is a King A.D.S. music production.
What's up? I'm back doing my thing. King A.D.S, Aiyea the Shadow, A.D.S, all the same. From the IE, Southern California, coming at you with that good energy. Just, saying, always trying to come at you with something that's live. Give you some good insight and some info and good feelings as I'm out here doing this music thing. I'm into hip hop, rock music, electronica. I'm a songwriter, rapper, singer, and I produce beats. Love to work with people. Started out as an MC, still going, on the road to growth. That's what it's all about. Business owner these days, small business owner as well. Is what I meant to say, and just always learning on my journey and path. And I know that there's a bunch of people out there that are just like me, that are out there doing their thing every day. So just without any further ado, I would like to ask you a few questions. Do you wake up and say, I'm excited to be here, I'm excited to do the things that I want to do, and there's nothing else in this world that matters to me as much as that? Or do you wake up saying, oh, it's another day, I'm going back through the grind, back through the maze, back through the same old stuff all over again, going back into the criticism? Do you wake up saying, I hope that I see my dreams flourish and other people's dreams flourish and that we're all getting stronger together? Or do you simply say there's no use in trying because we're all beat down? Okay, so you're not going to set yourself up for that embarrassment. So these are the differences between what we call healthy ego and unhealthy ego. Okay, the healthy ego likes to be into whatever's going to help you thrive, be positive in that nature to help you flourish in everything that you do and feel invigorated and charged up for that journey and challenge. So with the healthy ego, you're doing things that are going to help push you along, and also could maybe even set an example, by leading that path, and other people may be inspired by your actions. You just never know how it's going to go, but it could be that way. And those are things that are healthy ego oriented, because not only do you help yourself, you help others, which also goes along with intelligent actions, as we are talking about before. You make that connection. Okay, so those are actions that help you and help others. Are you happy to see somebody succeed, and you say, oh man, another person got free, broke the matrix and got out of these chains? Or do you wait for them to fall on their face so you can criticize them, even though that's the person who's not trying, but they're waiting on the sidelines to see someone else fail so they can say to someone else, hey, that's why I don't do it, I don't want my head chopped off, which is also bringing that person down. And then you didn't come here on the planet to just be on your lowest frequency. You came here to do your best things, your best work, and learn the most you can while you're here. And the only way you're going to do that is to have a healthy minded ego, where you're not worried about what other people are going to say. So you can kind of see this transition to where one sits on the sidelines and criticizes and doesn't do anything, right? They don't do anything, while the other one is not worried about what people say and puts their neck out there on the chopping block, takes the chance, feels the fear, gets the sweaty palms, gets nervous. And getting nervous and having sweaty palms is absolutely normal. It's like, congratulations, you're still human. You're not a robot, you're not some weird alien, but you are still human and you are still here. So don't worry, it's part of the experience. So with that healthy ego, understands that, the unhealthy ego doesn't quite follow that model, follows the model of, why would you try when everyone's just going to knock you down anyway, which is more or less an emptiness that they need to find within themselves. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, their purpose is better than everyone else's purpose that's been inflicted upon them, and instead of following those paths, should learn how to follow their own. But do you see the differential in the two? Healthy ego, unhealthy ego. Manifest from the healthy ego if you want to see all your dreams and goals and all those things come to fruition that are positive in your life. If you want to see them happen, use the healthy ego. You can hear the unhealthy ego all over the place all the time. What do you think that you're going to do with this? Why do you want to study this? Why were you wasting your time with this? These things are all negative. ego driven, and it comes from a source of negativity. And if you follow the root of the person, we can always trace it back to wherever it came from, hopefully, through experiences, family, friends, teachers, whatever experience it was. But we find a negative ego manifesting and rearing its ugly head, and then starting to cripple people along the way. But just wanted to get at you about that a little bit. I'll probably do a little bit more on it another time. But for right now, just wanted to touch on that. Remember, there's a difference: healthy ego, unhealthy ego. All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I just want to do a little bit more on the unhealthy ego, healthy ego situation. This might take me a little bit, but I want to keep that energy up and try to get a little rhythm when I'm speaking, so that way everything just flows. But sometimes everything doesn't just come to the top of the brain or to the front of the brain the way I'd like it to. So sometimes I have to come back and say something else. Okay, so let's talk about the unhealthy ego a little bit. Seems to focus on the outside parameters of things versus the inside parameters of things. And as we talked about before, the difference between positivity and negativity: positive attracts while negative repels. So on the outside, as repulsion does, the negative ego focuses on everything that's outside of itself and seems to focus on those things and shape its identity around the outside, versus the positive ego shapes itself around the inner substance and those sorts of things. So negative ego is going to focus on what it doesn't have versus what it does have, and positive will focus on what it does have and work with what it does have. And ego will always feel like it needs what another outside source has in order to complete itself. And you could see how that's an error in judgment right there, because of the fact that the more that you do, you find that you need to know where you're going. That's what's important. So you stay focused, you stay grounded, you keep your mind straight, you do things that are good for you, you eat right, you go to sleep on time, you work out. Even if you can't go to sleep on time all the time, you still take good care of yourself. You take breaks, you get away from the popular opinion, and you just take in information and study on your own. Things like that. You do things that interest you more in the positive ego. Not saying that everyone else doesn't matter at all. You're very much happy to hear what's going on, to be into it. Because you're very much supportive. You actually listen attentively to people when they speak, so you actually remember things that people say, and come back in conversation and comment on them, and have genuine friendships and things like that. So you take things, you might even stay up late wondering if you answered the question right or not, because you have a concern about that. But however, the negative ego would assume that simply because a person owns certain possessions or lives in a certain place, that they have a certain demeanor about them, and that would be acceptable. There's no need to be the one who is mindful of others, because others should be mindful of you, because look at you what you have and everything like that. So you can see how it reflects that outward type of energy to other people, and you can feel it too. They're like, oh, that was kind of cold, because it is, because it comes from a material level that has no emotion, it has no heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? It has no insight. It's material, and so looking to fill the lack of substance that a person can gain about themselves, you growing spiritually, academically, physically, all of those things, though, just making that connection is what's going to show them what they're all about and what actually interests them. When do they find that actually makes them genuinely smile? What act is it? And it's a positive act, not a negative act, but a positive act. And what is it that makes life feel simple for them? Things like that. Those are the things that matter for a person to know themselves and walk with that balance in the world, and always be in the middle of the pendulum swing. Remember, the pendulum swing equally to the left and to the right. Those are both extremes, but in the middle is the essence of the swing, which is at its fullest strength, right there in the middle. And that's where you want to be too, right there in the essence of the creation between positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? In a place of stillness without time, being able to walk between the paths. I know that got a little bit deep, but it's real. And but you can see how, so one focuses on the inside more, and those things become the place to be. You find your footing and your place, and when you find your place, that's the place to be. So your lane, and you're happy with your lane. You're not discouraged by your lane. You're actually working with what you have. And like I said, the negative ego focuses on what they don't have. And so is always thinking as a victim and at a point of loss. And that's where a person can never gain their footing, because if you're looking outside for self, what do you want to call it, affirmation or whatever, you're never going to find it. You know, you need to work on yourself in order to do that. And that means, you know, not being caught up with the crowd, popular opinions, things like that. You're going to wear what you want to wear. You're going to dress how you want to dress. You're going to, you know, do your own thing. You know what I mean? And doesn't mean showing up and trying to snub another. It just means you're doing your own thing, and you kind of, you know, tilt your hat to other people that's doing their own thing, because you know that they're walking their own stride, and that's an individual, and that's what you were sent here to be. So, you know, so you can see, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit more. Just wanted to share a little bit more about the positive ego, negative ego. Positive focus on the inner to gain substance. The negative focus on the outer from thinking that they have a lack of substance, which you have to gain on your own journey. So you can't gain it from the outside. You got to get it from the inside. And some of us all need to slow down. And all the elders was always trying to get us to just slow down a little bit. You know, you got a little bit of time here. It may not be all the time in the world, but you got enough time to get it done. So, you know what I mean? I just wanted to get back up here with that positivity again. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, please like, please share, please subscribe. Peace.